YouTube, what's going on? My name is Argon. Welcome back to some Fortnite action. One of the things we love most about Fortnite Battle Royale is all the unique characters and cool stuff that they put in the game to make it interesting, unique, and fun. Now, they always claim that they're never going to put anything in the game that's going to give you an advantage. They don't want to make the game a pay to win. So for that reason, they make it so that everything is equal. It's literally just cosmetic. But the question comes up once in a while, do you actually get put at a disadvantage for these things that you might be using? Like in some cases, there's an AC/DC pickaxe, which was really loud. It drowned out a lot of the sounds around you, and it might have made you a target from people that were nearby that could hear it. This will put you at a disadvantage, even if it was supposed to be just cosmetic. Specifically today, what we want to talk about is some of the recent additions in terms of the characters that they've added. One being the Cuddle team leader, and the other one being the Crackshot. A lot of people are concerned that the larger head to these character models is actually going to make you have a bigger hitbox, and so what we want to do is go ahead and take a look at this and test it out and make sure that it's real or not real, or what's the truth behind this rumor. Now, before we go any further, I really like to ask you guys, if you're new here, I generally like to make Fortnite videos about informational type stuff, tips and tricks, funny moments, gameplays. I do stream several times a week. I try and upload almost every day. If you guys are interested in that type of information, specifically these informational type videos where we talk about things, I always like to, as an engineer myself, back up all my information with actual data. I don't like to give a purely opinion-based, video on a subject and claim something without any actual facts behind it. So if that's your kind of thing, guys, please do consider subscribing. You won't be disappointed. If you're not new here and you have been here before, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you are subscribing, make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below that you did, so I can give you a shout out in an upcoming video, or at least say thank you to the best of my ability, depending on when you end up seeing this. So thank you in advance, but let's go ahead and get right into this. So again, what we're doing here, guys, is we're going to take a look at the Cuddle team leader and the Crackshot character models and see, do they have actually broken hitboxes, if you will, or larger hitboxes compared to the default model. So what Reverb and I did, he's the homie, he helped me out with this. He had Crackshot, I had Cuddle team leader. We went into a duos match, found ourselves a little area of the map that we could hide, and built ourselves a brick wall, stood in front of the brick wall, and just started taking pop shots at each other. What we wanted to do is measure the hit registration to see if there was a difference between the bear, the Crackshot, and then the default character. So in this situation, it's actually kind of nice that they turned off friendly fire, because now we could actually do this testing. We wouldn't have been able to do this if there was friendly fire. And in any other circumstance, I want friendly fire on, but for this video and for this test, it actually helped it out. There's no way we could have done this. Well, we could have possibly done it with friendly fire on. It would have been really a hassle to keep medding up, and it probably wouldn't happen. But either way, we were able to take these little pop shots at each other. So you can see, starting with the Cuddle bear, basically we went from left side of the bear's head to the right, top to bottom, and just kind of all around to see where we could get hit markers and where we couldn't. Now again, if you have friendly fire off, you can still register the hit marker, you just won't do any of the damage. That's how we're able to do this test. So you can see where the hit markers start and when they stop. And basically the entire bear's head is in the hitbox, which is kind of what you expect. You want to be able to shoot at something, you want to be able to hit it. If you see it, you want to be able to hit it. It's a little bit concerning because this head is so much larger than the default character's head, but you know what? We got to keep going. We got to see what else the rest of the results show. Moving on into the Crackshot, you can see the same type of pattern. His head is part of the hitbox, however, his hat is not. If you shoot through the hat, you shoot right through it. Again, a little concerning, because as a model, if you see it, you shoot it, you want to be able to get the hit. You're going to be a little confused if you shoot through a character and you don't register a hit. You're going to be like, what the heck just happened? Of course, it is fair because the hat is so huge and it sticks up way higher than any default character. That's obviously something that you don't want to have happen. So for this purpose, it is balanced, even though it may be a little bit awkward. But again, moving into the final character, this is the default character. We picked a female character just to see she might have a smaller head than some of the males. Again, this is where things start to get a little bit weird. If you look at this character's hitbox registration, you can actually get hit registration outside of her actual head. Now this is a little bit concerning. It's actually balanced because this does match the hitboxes for the other two models. However, if you're shooting at the air next to her head, you can still get hits. And you're probably currently thinking, hey, I don't want to get hit if they're not actually hitting my head, right? You don't want a hitbox bigger than your actual head. But if you think about it like this, it's actually a disadvantage for you to use these other characters, because when you're visually looking at something, that's when you can actually aim at it. And we had this problem in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. A lot of people that played that game did not enjoy that game because the Synaptic robot was, reported to have a broken hitbox. This was proven time and time again to not be true. But what was going on there was you had this visual effect where, because the bot was so skinny, it made it harder to aim at. And you see this exact same scenario with the default character. So if you try, you have all this extra area that you could hit and register, but you're not aiming for that. You're actually aiming for the head of the person or the default character. But in the case of the bear or the Crackshot, you can actually see all this area. There's a fine contrast in the bear's head versus the surrounding area. I want to show you an example of this. this. If I go ahead and put up a bullseye on the screen here, this is a standard bullseye on a blue background. You can pretty much see that if I told you to shoot at it, you'd be able to hit it. You could target it. You could hit somewhere on the bullseye and hit the target, right? Now, if I go ahead and remove all the rings around the target and just leave the little dot in the middle and keep the same blue background, but I told you that the hit registration area was the same. So if you hit anywhere where the rings used to be, you would still count that as a hit. You would have a much harder time still hitting because you're not going to be necessarily aiming for that area. Because you've got all this blue area around this little red dot, you can't differentiate the range on how far out the hitbox actually is. So that's kind of what we got going on here. You've got this large hitbox that actually matches the exact same shape of the Cuddle Bear's head, but you're not going to aim at it if you're aiming at the default character. Now, a lot of the people that you may watch on YouTube are very good at this game. They don't really have this problem because they're really good at aiming or they build well. They just put themselves in better situations so that this isn't really an impact. But if you're just a regular player or a below average player or slightly above average player, you may be struggling with this. You may see that if you have been using these characters, you feel like you're an easier target, that people are headshotting you much easier. And I'm just here to tell you that, hey, that's not in your head. I had to throw in a pun in there somewhere. You know I had to. So that's kind of the summary, guys, of the hitboxes that we've tested to show that, again, the hitbox matches the exact outline of the Cuddle Bear's head, with the exception of the ears, essentially. Now, the other problem here is too, now this maybe not be as big of a deal with the crack shot, but with the Cuddle Bear especially, the pink color really stands out in the environment. The default characters don't have this contrast with their environment. The pink itself is a really unique color that doesn't appear much else on the map, with the exception of like the butterflies, I think, a few flowers maybe. You don't see it that common, but the other colors in the default characters, the crack shot even, they're pretty standard colors throughout the map. So not only are you having the entire hitbox visible, but you're also making it a contrasting color that makes it easier to see. So it does put you at a disadvantage. Again, let me reiterate, the hitboxes are all the same for every model. This is proven. I just proved it in this video. However, you are at a disadvantage because you are easier to target. You do stand out more, and people can see you easier when you're trying to peek over something. They're gonna see you probably before you see them. Or I should say before you can actually get a shot off, because you could see them in the third person view, but before you can actually get a shot off, they'll have a peek at your head. They'll be able to hit you guys. So it is a disadvantage. If you buy these character models, they're cool, buy them for fun, but don't expect them to be competitive, because while some people will be competitive with them because they are very good or they are very smart, for the rest of us, it's going to be a little bit harder just because you are making yourself an easier target. It's just plain and simple. Again, final conclusion, hitboxes are all the same. However, you do extremely make visible the entire hitbox as opposed to the default character, which shows about 50% or less of the hitbox. That makes you an easier target. You're going to get hit a lot more because people have an easier time targeting you. So keep that in mind when you guys are using this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, guys. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Hopefully I've convinced you to subscribe. Make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. Again, please hit that like button, and please do follow me on social media, especially Twitter. That's the best way to keep up to date on everything that's happening with me in the channel. And once again, guys, my name is Argon. I'll see you next time. Peace.